Welcome to the Insider Edition of the official Bestway Club. Today we're talking to Valerie McOuat, a recent winner of the special Bestway tour through Jordan. The Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan is a small country with a split that has dazzled visitors for centuries, and we are very excited to speak to Valerie about her experience traveling there. Welcome, Valerie.
Hi, Amanda. Thank you for your call. Whatever you have to ask, I will try and answer for you.
Great. Well, first off, let me ask you about the food, because I know that there's lots of foodies out there who would be very curious. What is it about Jordan's cuisine that would make their mouths water?
Now, unfortunately for me, this was a difficult question. I have food allergies, and I'm a selective eater. But for those out there who maybe are not meat or seafood eaters, lots can be had. One of the famous dishes there is tomato and cucumber mixed with a little olive oil. They are famous for their olive oil, and it is fantastic. I love this. The other is falafel, which is chickpeas with flour beans. It is deep fried. They will mix it with a salad and put it in flatbread. They use flatbread for everything, so they call it a falafel sandwich. Hummus with flatbread. The hummus is different from what we get here. I actually like it better. Other thing is grilled chicken kebabs, again wrapped in flatbread with a grilled tomato. And their fast food restaurants make it fresh. So you do have to wait for it. Eat where the locals eat if you're eating outside the restaurants. Mint tea, Turkish coffee, fresh pomegranate juice, and I can't stress that one enough. It is awesome. If you have a sweet tooth, if you have a sweet tooth, the desserts are very rich, very sweet, most made with honey. And I will mention this, people always ask about the water. All the hotels serve bottled water with their food. They will ask you small bottle, large bottle. They don't just pour it at the table. And a lot of the hotels will tell you not to drink from the tap.
Okay. Historically speaking, Jordan is one of the oldest archaeological sites in the world, with little changes since the biblical times. What is it that was most fascinating, or what most fascinating stop was on your Bestway tour for you?
Okay. I'm a history buff, and I'm really serious about it. My first love is Egypt, followed by the Middle East. If there's an archaeological site, I want to be there. Jordan was awesome. And as Bestway said in the tour I went on, where it all began, and that's true. If you're looking for sites of religious interest, you will find them everywhere in Jordan, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, often in the same site as in the Citadel of Amman, which often is you must go there. Most of us know the Romans were everywhere in Jordan, example, Jerash. Asking me to choose the most fascinating stop, really, really hard. You might be expecting me to say Petra, and it is awesome. I don't miss it. I wouldn't have missed it, but I love Jerash. I love it. I love the Citadel of Amman, the sunset on Wadi Rum, and the Blue Fortress where Lawrence of Arabia had his office. You can actually ascend that staircase very carefully and enter his office and look out the same window he did. So those would be sort of a few of my choices. It's hard to pick. The Dead Sea, floating in the Dead Sea, you got to do that.
Yeah.
You just can't go there and not do that.
Yeah, well, speaking of the environment, between the Dead Sea and the hauntingly beautiful landscapes, Jordan is as unique as it is beautiful. So would the Dead Sea be one of your favorite stops in Jordan?
That and Wadi Rum. I'd say Wadi Rum. As you know, I've been to Jordan before. Wadi Rum this time around was awesome. You have to sit and watch the sunset on Wadi Rum. It's just amazing. It's basically an archaeologist and geologist dream. The environment is just, it changes everywhere you go. I mean, you go from one extreme to the other so quickly. It's awesome. I can't really stress that any more than the land changes. You just will go and you'll come, it'll be flat, and then there'll be mountains, especially in Wadi Rum. There'll be nothing but desert for a while, and then there'll be this huge rock formation just out of nowhere. And so, again, those two, I would say, for the environment, Wadi Rum and the Dead Sea.
Great. Okay. My next question would be, people and smiles are what can make the difference between visiting a new place and planning to return again. So how was your experience with the Jordanians?
Anybody that I met, they were lovely. Everybody greets you with Halan wa salam, which means welcome. As soon as they meet you, they'll say that to you. Local restaurants put up menus in Arabic, but they will have English menus. If they don't, they will explain everything to you. You can point at the pictures, and they will say, "What would you like?" And they're very accommodating. A lot of the Jordanians speak French that we happen to run into. A lot of the guides, I think they get a lot of people from the Quebec area. Make an effort to learn a few words in Arabic, even if you say them badly. You'll have an instant friend, and they'll be happy to speak English with you.
Perfect. And speaking of the guides there, you've been to Jordan once before. How was your experience this time traveling with the Bestway? Any better than before?
As you said, yes, I've been to Jordan before. A shorter visit, but I did see some of the same sites. But I'd have to say my experience with Bestway far exceeded my expectations at first. I have to say that first. And totally overshadowed my last visit there. I mean, really, I want to forget that last visit there. And Bestway's, I have to say, really made up for my disappointment last time. And I have to credit two people for that. And that would be Mahmoud from Bestway, who set up the tour, and our guide, Danny Haddad. He was awesome. His knowledge, his expertise, his willingness to please, his all-around personality was basically the icing on the cake.
Thank you so much. And one last question for you, Valerie. Why should I add Jordan to my list of must-see countries in the world?
Well, you'd have to give me a reason you didn't want to. Even if you're not an archaeological buff, if you're an engineer, the architecture, you're a geologist, as you said, the environment, if you're into the religious aspect, you're going to find it there. Like it says in the thing, it's where it all began, and due to the ongoing events in the Middle East and all the media hype and the negativity right now, I have to say I never once felt unsafe in Jordan. Politics never came up with people. Jordan's ruled by a king who seems much loved by his people. Certainly they have issues like any other country, but I had no safety or political concerns while I was there. I absolutely didn't. I wasn't worried. I wasn't concerned. I would suggest people go with a guided tour or a personal guide for sure, just to find your way around. We met people who were renting cars and driving through the country. No one seemed concerned.
Thank you for all of this information and sharing with us your experience, Valerie.
You're very welcome.
On behalf of Bestway, we really appreciate it. And on behalf of all of our listeners in the Bestway Club, we're very appreciative of that. If you are new to the Bestway Club or getting familiar with Bestway in general, you can find out more information about Jordan and the tours that we provide through Jordan at bestway.com/countries/Jordan. Thanks again, Valerie, and thank you for everyone listening in today. Have a Bestway day.
You're very welcome. Bye, Amanda.